What's up everybody, it's Brian at Valkerion Gaming, and today we're going to be reviewing Princess Peach Showtime for the Nintendo Switch. When this game initially got announced, it was pretty hyped up. A lot of people were excited to see Princess Peach get her own high-budget traditional platformer, but it kind of went under the radar this season when it came out. Nonetheless, I took the time to sit down, play through it, and these are my thoughts about the game. So if you've been watching my channel, you know I'm not exactly a Nintendo fan. A lot of Nintendo's first-party titles just kind of go over my head, and I don't really take the time to play them. But I have been trying to change that over the last few years with the Switch generation, and I've been trying to play things like Zelda, Kirby, Yoshi, and more. And I've actually been really enjoying those games sans Zelda, but I was really excited for Princess Peach because it's a new entry in a long-running character. So when this game came out and I got my hands on it finally a few weeks after launch because things were very busy, I took about an hour or two every night and just played through it casually. And honestly, I really enjoyed doing it that way. So one of the things that really struck me about this game and a lot of Nintendo first-party games is just the length of it. Like I said, I played this game about 1 hour every night for about a week, and it took me about 6 play sessions to get through the game, and each one was about an hour long. In doing that, I was able to get through about 4 or 5 stages, do a boss, maybe an extra challenge or two, and maybe even replay a stage if I saw fit. And it only took me about 6 hours to roll credits, but with that said, I still had plenty of extras to do. I didn't get all the costumes, I didn't get all the sparkles, I didn't explore every stage entirely, so on and so forth. And I didn't do the extra challenge modes. So there was still some content left on the table, even though I took about 6.5 to 7 hours to beat it. But doing it that way was a really chill and fun time, and I kind of recommend that if you do go into this game, just relax and have fun with it. But jumping into the game proper, what is Princess Peach Showtime? Well, in a sense, it's basically a 2D side-scrolling platformer, but there's not as much emphasis on platforming as there is themed adventures for each stage. If you've seen the trailers for Princess Peach Showtime, you know this game features Princess Peach as she dresses up in different costumes to battle her way through different stages. And I use the term battle in a generic sense. Some stages actually do have her battling, others have her just baking cookies and cakes, some have ice skating, and there's a mermaid singing one, there's Mighty Peach where she dresses up kind of like a Super Sentai or Power Ranger, and she just kind of punches and throws heavy objects around. There's a lot of variety in the very short length that this game has, but I will say even though it has this variety, I think the overall simplicity is kind of a damper on the overall enjoyment of the concept of having Peach with so many different power-ups and themes for each stage. So while there is a lot of variety in the stages and just kind of design of each outfit, Princess Peach Showtime doesn't really hit the high notes that you kind of hope it would. For example, every stage is only A and B buttons, and that's about it. To use Princess Peach's Kung Fu form, you use B to kick and use A to jump. To sneak around as a ninja, you use B to slash and use A to jump. To bake cookies, you mash B, and that's about it. The whole game is just 2 simple buttons, and while that is kind of Nintendo's modus operandi, it does leave a lot on the table, especially on stages where you're really enjoying yourself. Like I said, I really enjoyed the ninja and kung fu stages, and I really enjoyed the sword fighter and the what is it called? The dynamic thief, I think is what it's called. Dashing thief, sorry. Those stages are really fun, but they're so simple at their core that you just kind of get left wanting more. And even those few challenge stages that I tried kind of just doubled down on the theme and not exactly the challenge to be had. So while I do count Princess Peach's simplicity as a demerit, you can also kind of see it as a positive point too. The game is so well refined and well thought out and organized that it just makes sense. It does leave you left wanting, but that isn't exactly a terrible thing either. The game is just so cozy and just such a casual romp that I think the simplicity of it really suits it. So while this game is very simple and it's not super long if you don't do everything, there is a lot of fun to be had with the simplicity at hand. The Kung Fu stages have lots of fun button mashing and timing mini games. The cooking game is really interesting. You have to time your mashing of buttons properly. I especially like the ninja stages. I usually hate stealth, and for some reason I really enjoyed the Ninja Peach stages because it has a bit of stealth and has a bit of action to it. And there's even some auto running segments where you have to time your jumps and whatnot perfectly. Like I said, the theme and simplicity of it all just kind of gels together in the way that only Nintendo could do. And I really enjoyed it, and I think others will enjoy it too, despite that simplicity. Couple all of that together with about a dozen or so different costumes, which each have their own gameplay elements, and the game is just a really charming, fun romp once again. The stages themselves aren't too long usually, but there are a few stages that go on for about 15 or so minutes. Other stages can be anywhere from about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on if you want to look for everything, or you're just talking to all the NPCs, or you're just enjoying yourself that much in the stage. That said, I did enjoy that, as some of the stages have quite a lot of variety in their length. While the ninja stages weren't too long, they did have a really nice middle ground, for example. And then there are the detective stages, which are pretty long as you kind of talk to all the NPCs and try to figure out the clues. That said, like I said, the game is very simple, so even though the detective stages took longer because I talked to everybody, I honestly figured out the clues pretty easily. And that's just, once again, the general theme of this game. It's fun for everybody, and I think that's all that matters. So with so many different costumes and gameplay elements here, I think everyone who tries this game will easily have their own favorite costumes and stage moments. That said, I don't know who this game is for exactly. I think for the hardcore Nintendo fans who are used to more Mario level platforming and gameplay elements, this is way removed from that in terms of difficulty. I would say it's even easier than something like Yoshi's Crafted World, which is kind of noted for being easy. Maybe it's even easier than Kirby at that point. But once again, that didn't exactly mean I didn't enjoy the game, but this makes it a hard game to recommend. If you're just a hardcore Nintendo fan or just someone who likes Princess Peach, thumbs up, go out and grab this game. It's really fun. I think the length is an issue, and the simplicity is also an issue to consider depending on what kind of game you're in the mood for. If you like your Nintendo characters, especially Peach, and you just want to chill and go through a fun, really charming game, jump in for this one because you can't miss it. It'll be great for you. For everyone else, take the points of criticism into your heart and really consider them, because it's a hard game to recommend for anyone other than Nintendo fans. But I have a feeling if you can get this game for on the cheap or on a discount, it's a pretty charming romp, and I think you'll enjoy yourself. Visually and music-wise, it's got all of that same charm that you come to expect from Nintendo games. The music is nice and jazzy, and it really fits the theme of being in a theater. And then there is the visuals where all the characters look really sharp and nice, especially Peach, because she's the main character. I can't say the same for the story though. The story just kind of happens and kind of blows over your head. And honestly, I was kind of wondering why Peach was all that concerned with the theater and saving the people in it. But that's pretty part of the course for Nintendo characters and saving people, right? So the theme of the story is Princess Peach goes to a theater to watch a show, and this theater is multi-tiered, and each room has a different play going on with different actors. The actors get kidnapped by someone called Madame Grape, and when she kidnaps the actors, she's trying to put on the ultimate tragedy play. And she needs the power of their sparkla, as it's called, which is their basically star power, very literal. And it's up to Princess Peach, being the superpowered Mushroom Kingdom princess that she is, You take on the roles of these stars, adopt their powers temporarily, and smash the bad guys in the various forms that it takes. It's pretty simple, and honestly I didn't really understand the setup that well, but the ending was fun enough and I enjoyed my time with it. It's not gonna beat Baldur's Gate or anything, but it's a nice little premise to get you through the stages. And just going into a little bit about the stages, each stage is broken up into 3 segments basically. The first segment introduces you to the costume and the mechanics. The second stage is kind of the building moment leading up to the climax, and this third stage is kind of the boss fight of that play or theme. It's a pretty simple way to go about things, but it's an enjoyable one nonetheless. Each stage, like I said, only lasts about 10 to 15 minutes, maybe a little bit longer if you do everything, but it all works out in the end to a pretty brisk but enjoyable game. But I think I talked in circles enough, and that's going to be it for this one. Thank you for watching this review. Please like, sub, hit the bell for notifications, and more. And you can watch the VOD of me playing this game here on YouTube, and I'm also going to put it on Twitch, leave it up on Twitch as well, where I played through the game live. So sorry about this review being a little bit different. I actually moved, and that's why maybe I sound a bit different, because I'm talking into my mic on a box because I don't have a table yet, and the room is pretty empty. So I've just been trying to get set up and settled, and this is one of the games that kind of helped me de-stress from moving, so I personally enjoyed it, and I think if you're a Nintendo fan, you will too. Anyway, look forward to seeing the new setup in a future video, hopefully sooner than later. Still got to figure out what I'm going to do with it, because I kind of changed a lot of things around, and we'll see. Anyway, once again, good night, good game. Stay safe out there, be good to each other, like, sub, hit the bell for notifications, and I hope to see you in the Mushroom Kingdom.